Welcome to A Day in the Life of a Garden for part 2, where I'm going to tell you what we plan on doing for the future in this beautiful garden here at Brucemore. Join us, won't you? It's really exciting. My name is David Morton. I'm the landscape curator here at Brucemore. It's a 26-acre estate located in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and it's one of the few National Trust historic sites in the Midwest. And this show is about how to create this little piece of paradise in your own backyard. A day in the life of a gardener. So here we are, present day, and the only good thing about the derecho was that we almost got a blank slate to be able to work with on the whole property. And we had a landscape architect come in and help us and worked with you on getting a lot of photos and ideas of what happened or what the place looked like with the Douglas era. That's our interpretive era. And so now we're getting ready to see what we can implement. Of course, we need funds, so if you've got some extra change and you want to donate it to us, we'd gladly take it. Because this is going to be expensive. It already has been expensive. But what we're going to start with, hopefully this fall, is getting the whole garden resodded. And one of the elements that I've got to work with now is to realign the beds, because over the course of years, as you edge and weed and plant, the beds are all out of alignment. And you can really see it in the winter or early spring when everything's down. Now, when everything's growing up, you can't really tell, but it would be nice to have them all laid out properly. So we have all the measurements here. And so with the sod coming in, that'll help give us another blueprint to work from. So what I'm doing right now is sort of taking out some of the things that are overflowing on the edges and also redesigning this back portion, because we had many trees here, and so everything kind of died out. And over the last 4 years, we've started planting things here and there, but I'd like to have a really kind of like a cohesive plan so that they you still have the wild look and the prairie style, I guess is a better term, but I'd like it to have some sort of assembly. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just...
More cohesive.
Yeah,
cohesive.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So a lot of the plants we'll have in there are, some of them are native plants to Iowa, as well as hybridized native plants, cultivars that are new. Also, I think an interesting element to have would be some old garden roses that have some history to them as well, that might have been introduced at that time, early 1900s through the 20s. See where that takes us and whether we'll be able to actually put in the Grape arbor and the fence, which I hope to do.
Hopefully someday. I'd love to see that element back.
I would love to see that element back too. I'd really like to create, to see it as a room, but that takes resources. Again, if you have any spare change. What's most exciting is to be able to maybe take out some of the older plants that are starting to die, and because perennials have a lifespan too. I mean, nothing lives forever. Some of them have gotten a little too big for the areas that they're in. Some of them kind of crowd out other things. There are some invasive species that were planted over time, because as you said, every gardener had their own idea of what to plant in here. We're going to be a little more selective now as we go to restore the place, and try to make sure that we don't have any of those invasive species, so that we can keep it a little more better cultivars, and keep it neater, tidier. What we think we're going to do anyway is start with this section that was all sun, that got the most damage from derecho, and then move on to these areas as well. If we had the funds, we could have it all done by maybe hired it out and have it all replanted with our choice of material. But if it's done in-house, we're going to have to do it in phases for sure, because we just don't have the manpower to really do it all at once. And we hope to get it a good start on it this fall and next spring, and maybe by 2027 have a whole new garden.
That would be amazing.
Wouldn't it be amazing? So we'll see what happens. but it'll be fun to work on regardless.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
One question I had for you were about the Arborvitae, because we know that the shape that they are currently right now isn't the shape that Mrs. Douglas and O.C. Simons and Helen Dupuy would have likely chosen for those.
Right.
So what do we do about all of these Arborvitae that we've got planted in the garden?
Right. Some of them were taken out with derecho. But yes, when I first started, they were like these little blobs. They were like these round blobs and overgrown in all different sizes. So my predecessor bought in 2006, I think, is when we bought new ones, and they were small. And at that time, the idea was to keep them in these little pyramid shapes. What we found out from your research and from Mr. Spielman's research, or Seelman's research, is that they were not. They were columnar. So I've been pruning them as these little Hershey kisses, I call them. And so now I'm trying to re-prune them. And what I've done is tried to take the bottoms back. Now the trick with Arborvitae is you can't get it back to the dead wood because it won't come back from that. So you have to make sure you keep the green on there. So I pulled in the bottom parts, and I'm leaving the top parts unpruned, but pruned a little because you can't have them, you got to keep them, it's a tricky thing, you got to keep them pruned so that they don't get too big and then you're cutting back to dead wood. So we're trying to reshape them right now, and they look pretty funny right now because they're in between the two. Now, we may end up just replacing them all, but that's a big expense as well. They can be up to $500 a piece.
Wow.
Because they're not the quickest growers. And there's other varieties out there that our architect has given me to look at and do some research with. So they may be a different variety than we have out there right now. Also, they're very susceptible to deer. The deer like to eat them as well. So they like to prune them.
Nature's pruners.
So between nature, the deer pruning them and me pruning them, they're looking a little funny sometimes. But we'll see if we can't get them to be more of a columnar thing and keep them at about a 6-foot height. I guess that's the height that it appears that they were at. But yeah, that's a good question. Plus we're missing some of them too. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So there's about 5 of them, I think, that are missing. It wasn't necessarily the derecho that took them out, but as we were cleaning things out, they got destroyed because we couldn't help it. It's just we had to clear all that stuff out, as you remember.
So what you're saying is we're not going to suddenly decide to do animal shapes or?
No, I would probably be really bad at that anyway.
Okay.
I'll let Walt Disney World do that. But yeah, that's the plan.
Well, it's been so fun to talk with you about our plans for the formal garden, and I'm excited to see what's coming.
Yeah, me too. And thank you for all your knowledge about the history and what was, because that's all part of it, and that's what makes it so fun too. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Remember to like and subscribe our videos. That really helps us out. And we hope you enjoyed it. Join us next time. And remember, every garden counts. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more, hit the like button, the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel.